Hey Bat fans, Luke here, back with another video, and as I'm recording this, it's a little bit right before midnight, the day before Thanksgiving, so by the time everything gets wrapped up and uploaded, this video will be up on Thanksgiving Day. And I kind of want to do a video at this point for Thanksgiving Day, for kind of, provide, a video be available on Thanksgiving. Not too many people upload stuff, and there might be some folks who really don't have a whole lot of things going on tomorrow, so to help them enjoy their day maybe just a little bit better or a little bit more, I'm obviously happy to do so. And what I wanted to do is kind of do a video of the things I'm most thankful for in the current bat world. And I just want to make sure I make things perfectly clear. Um, this is not the most thing. These are not the things I'm most thankful for. Bottom line, my family, they're the things I'm most thankful for. My wife and my 3 kids, they're awesome, and that's the thing I'm most thankful for. I just could not be a luckier husband, a luckier dad to have the family that I do. That's the thing I'm most thankful for. And everything else, like the stuff I do on a day-to-day, my profession, all that stuff, I'm thankful for that too, and the rest of my family. So I just kind of don't want to make it sound twisted. I mean, Batman is for fun. So obviously Thanksgiving going on tomorrow. This is just one of the smaller things I'm most thankful for. But yeah, these are going to be the 10 things I'm most thankful for. And being it's Thanksgiving, I'm going to keep it relatively positive. I'm not going to really... There's one I'm not gonna bash him, but I'm not gonna have the most kindest things to say. But I'm gonna really keep this positive. And as you're watching this, feel free, please. Let's have a dialogue about this. I just want to kind of hear from everyone else. What are the things they're most thankful for in the current bat world? It's obviously might not be the same thing I am. If it's something I'm saying that you might not agree with, I mean, let's have that discussion. And if there's things that maybe I should have added on there, let me know. If there's something I'm missing, please, by all means, throw it up there. So, now let's go ahead and start with number 10. And this one's a little bit of a somber one. I hate to start off on a sad note, but I am thankful for, looking back at it, Adam West Batman. Adam West, who recently passed away. And I'm not going to go too far in depth, because I know the Batman 66 genre, we'll just kind of put it that way. It's not everyone's cup of tea, and it's not my favorite, don't get me wrong. I do like it. I do got all these single issues, all the trades of the Batman 66 series, and all the tie-ins, Steve and Mrs. Peel, Wonder Woman 77, Green Hornet. Who are the? Oh, there's one more. Either way, I got them, and I recently bought the complete Blu-ray this time, the whole 66 series. Of course, you gotta have the Batman movie. But I mean, looking back at it, it was a critical part of the Batman mythos. You just can't deny. Ultimately, especially back in the day, back in the time period, what the 66 series meant for Batman. I mean, there were so many who argue that, that show and Adam West's portrayal of Batman really did save, Batman. It was on the brink of extinction, and so he kind of resurrected the Batman character. So, looking back at it, I really do have more of appreciation. I always appreciated it, but obviously with Mr. West passing, not too long ago, I do have more of a fond appreciation for Adam West and what he brought to the Batman character and what we know of Batman today. It's a stark contrast. I am very appreciative of that, and it would be totally, I think, disrespectful by me not to show some gratitude and be thankful since Mr. West has passed, for everything he's contributed to the character. My number 9 thing is the Gotham TV show. And I will say that show has gotten better and better as the series go along. I know the first season was kind of, it was okay, but it had its moments where you're like, ugh, it can get kind of dry. But when they start having, the villains rises and kind of morph into what they're doing now with Mr. Pig, the show has really gotten better. But it's a joy. It has its cheesy moments. I mean, let's not get it twisted. The CGI effects in that show sometimes are cringeworthy, but I will say they're really great efforts for a 9 o'clock show. Or is it 8 o'clock? Either way, I DVR by just my work schedule and gym schedule. The Flash and Arrow and Gotham. Obviously, I can't catch it as they're being shown. I gotta put the kids to bed when I come back, and then I watch it whenever. But it's for that time, but they really kind of push the limits on what I think the violence does that is shown on that show. And I think, Commissioner Gordon character is just, it's awesome. And the Alfred character, and even Bruce Wayne, the thing they were making him be kind of Batman early first, initially didn't sit right with me, but as you're kind of seeing it now kind of develop for the past season, it's really interesting. And if you're okay with kind of like an Elseworlds version of Gotham in a setting of, in the Batman universe minus Batman, this is your cup of tea. So if you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend it. But I'm just grateful for how much better that show has gotten since the first season. Because I'll be honest, after the end of season 1, I was a little worried I was going to get canceled. But what they did with Mad Hatter and Joker and the Penguin, Scarecrow, and now what they're doing with Professor Pig, they're actually nailing Professor Pig. That's a scary part. There's comic book writers who can't even nail the Professor Pig character better than what they're doing on a TV show. That's insane. But yeah, Gotham is, the TV show has just been really fun. Really thankful for that right now. So here's the Debbie Downer, number 8. And the thing I'm thankful for is Brian Hitch leaving Justice League. Nothing against Brian Hitch. Myself, I think his pre-Justice League stuff, even what he did with the JLA right before Rebirth, I thought that was okay, and I think that's putting it nicely. But nothing wrong against him. But I think what I really have to critique about Hitch is he has a formula for these superhero stories, especially team-ups, and they're all the same. During this Justice League run, I literally felt since Rebirth issue, not even issue 1, but Rebirth issue number 1, it's been the same plot, same cookie cutter plot devices. It's been literally like the same story for 30 plus issues. And the only ones that have changed are the ones that he hasn't been kind of involved in. And especially with the Justice League movie being released, much we had with the Suicide Squad when it was released, you got to make sure your book is really on point, and it has maybe not the best creative talent, but you need some really good talent, because if you're going to make some money off a book, it's right now with the movie coming out, so they gotta cash in on the Justice League book, because right now I think I don't hear too many people pulling it, and we'll see what happens with the movie. But it's one of those books that I don't hear too many people talk about it, and the ones that I do hear talk about it don't have much nice to say. So I forget the individuals jumping on it now, but it's definitely a much needed time to change Hitch on Justice League. And I am, again, this sounds so horrible with Thanksgiving, but I'm grateful that they're making the decision to kind of move on, because they really do. I mean, there's certain books you just need to be on point with. Batman Detective, Wonder Woman, obviously, Superman, obviously, with Suicide Squad still kind of in the movie kind of aura. I mean, Justice League, even Green Arrow, I would argue, Flash. You need the core books to really have the right people, and I think Hitch is just not fit for Justice League, so be that what it is. Number 7, especially now that it's ending, I am grateful for Tim Seeley's run on Nightwing. Now, I loved Grayson. He was part of Grayson. And we had the events with Batman and Robin Eternal, which he was still Grayson at that point. So when the decision was made to put Nightwing back in place during Rebirth, I was kind of worried how they were going to do it, how you make a stark transition from Super Spy Grayson to obviously Nightwing. And being that Tim Seeley was on Grayson for the vast majority of the run, that kind of helped it, but Seeley really did make that transition as seamless as it possibly could have been. And it really, if you read the Grayson book, a lot of themes you'll see in that story throughout is a constant kind of callback to the core characteristics of the Dick Grayson character or the Nightwing character through obviously the lens of Grayson and the super spy motif. And Seeley did that back when Nightwing came back in Rebirth, and I enjoyed the hell out of his Raptor run. I thought that was great. Not the Blockbuster. Well, yeah, sort of Blockbuster. When he made the move to Bloodhaven, again, I was a little worried because it felt, obviously, I'm not saying that he belongs in Bloodhaven. I'm not saying that, but I just thought that he was really catching his stride with this story with Raptor, with Nightwing really close to the Batman family, and I love his interactions. I love to see that how he interacted, with Jason, obviously Batman, and whatever. I love it when he interacts. Favorite is the one where he interacts with Damian. I just love that. It just brings me back to obviously pre-New 52 with Batman and Robin and whatnot. And it's just, I just love seeing him interact with the Batman family. But when you unplug him from there and put him in Bloodhaven, he's on his own. And I'm not saying he can't survive on his own. It's just he doesn't have that great people to bounce off against. So I was a little worried when they made the decision, or Seeley made that decision to do that. But I'll be honest, he hit a home run. It's just how he had the interaction with all the prior villains now being sort of good, and oh god, what's her name? Girl with the blue hair to the facer. Sean Zhang. Just a great character, and now you're seeing kind of Seeley's story come full circle. It makes you appreciate, I think Tim Seeley's efforts to really making this transition to just a great story, and it's going to wrap up, and then Seeley's going to go over to Green Lantern, and then we're basically going to just flip flop writers. And also you got to give Javier Fernandez huge credit to the artist. It's just been a great book, and I think an underestimated book, but it's been solid, from the beginning. And obviously now as it Seeley's run is wrapping up, he kind of makes you appreciative to what he has contributed thus far. Number 6 is, I'm going to say, Batwoman, the current Batwoman run. Batwoman is not perfect right now. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. I think the story It's kind of like walking through mud right now, and maybe Bennett might not be the best choice right now. I don't know. We'll see. I think I saw solicits. Was it January, February? There's going to be another writer, so I don't know if it's a one shot or it's a total writer change. But I will say it is 1 trillion times better than we had in the Andraco run. And I'm really liking what we've seen. We saw it earlier with oh god, who was the artist in like the first 5 issues? Oh man, total brain fart. Can't remember. But I will say the current writer artist now Blanco, which he had did art in some of Batman and Robin Eternal, or Batman. I'm sorry, Batman Eternal, and he was in Batman and Robin Eternal too, I believe too. And he pretty much wrapped up the New 52 detective run. And I thought his art was okay back then, but what I like what they're doing with Batwoman, what they didn't do really in the Andranko run, and they're doing especially in this story arc now with what they're doing with the Scarecrow. Batwoman's, I think, her best stories is when you get down to the occult. You get to that kind of the supernatural aspects of storytelling. That's what I think Batwoman is at her best. I think. I'm not saying what she's doing now in Detective is bad, not saying that, but just to me, I think the best Batwoman stories, Kay Kane Batwoman stories, are ones where you got the occult, supernatural kind of flair to it, and you're seeing that right now in the Scarecrow story. And Blanco's art is kind of really taken kind of cues from the J.H. Williams III art style and kind of using those really obtuse art concepts into the story. It's just, that's awesome. And I'm grateful for that because we did not get that toward the end of the New 52. And you're seeing that kind of come back. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I have a good Batwoman story. And a good Batwoman book that I'm reading every month. Again, not perfect, but it was not the Andraco Batwoman, which is a huge improvement. So I'm really appreciative for that. Next one. Think this would be a little bit higher, but not at number 5. I am grateful for the art that we're seeing in the current Bat stories. Specifically, kind of wanted to mention Jock in All Star Batman. We have obviously Capullo killing it right now in Metal. Might as well throw Fabok in if we're talking the covers he's done with the Dark Knight's one shots. That the Batman Who Laughs. That is just crazy. I love that cover. And Michael Yannon's Batman run right now with David Finch. Eddie Burroughs we saw earlier in Detective with oh god, who's the artist that just did the issue before this one, Detective? Wrapped up the Lonely Pace of Living story. Total brain fart on that one too. Oh god, even the artist on Super Sons, it's Damien. That counts. Batworld. That counts. Damien's in there. I'm counting it. God, the artist in Red Hood and the Outlaws. It's just, we're just really getting some great art right now we've seen lately, and it could be bad. It could be a trudge when, luckily we're getting really good stories now, but just the artists have been really stepping up, and it's just a joy to see when you're reading these Bat books lately how good the art is. So I'm very appreciative for the art we're getting right now, and the vast majority of the Batman books. I think the only one right now where it's kind of like cringeworthy is Bane Conquest. That's kind of bad, and even Pasarin's Justice League was... Pasarin I'm kind of hit or miss on, because some of his concept designs are kind of weirdly shaped. But, I'll kind of let it go. But for the most part, we're really getting good art. But I kind of wanted to throw it in. Do I cheat and put Juan Ferrer in? Look what he did with, the Metal crossover, even though he's in Green Arrow. I think that's cheating. That really don't count. But either way, just great art that we're getting in the Batworld right now. And it's just, and you know, I hate to say it, it should be that way. I mean, the Batworld, I think, deserves the best artist. That's where you're drawing the money. DC's getting the majority of the money from the Bat family. So you got to make sure your best talent's on there. So, speaking of Super Sons, number 4, Super Sons. I'm not going to say too much about this title because it has just been on point from issue number 1, and it just Tomasi just does such a great job on that title, and it just really does harken me back to the good old days a couple of years ago, going through Batman and Robin, his run. It's just what he does with Damian, how he interacts with people. He got this Damian down pat, and that is a book month in, month out. You're going to get just an awesome issue, and it's just been a joy. And what we saw in this past issue with, even though it was kind of weird how it was kind of laid out, the intermezzo, whatever, we referenced the Batman 666 issue, you know, Damian going in the future. That's just great. I love that little 1 or 2 pages there. And it's just, but just the interaction between John and Damian, it's just on point, and Tomasi's just doing a fantastic job. The art's great, and it's been just a whole hell of a lot of fun ride so far. I'm really grateful for Super Sons, because I know before it came out, it was hyped up. So I'm not going to say I was worried it was going to be able to live to the hype, but I just wanted to make sure it did live up to the hype, and it really has. So, number 3, and to this day, I'm still just shocked how great this book is, and I'm very grateful for it because I love the character, is Red Hood and the Outlaws. I am appreciative for how well that damn series is going, because the current writer basically had 2 tries before in Red Hood and the Outlaws Volume 1. Then he had Red Hood and Arsenal, and he basically failed twice. Even the good issues on Red Hood and the Outlaws, I'd argue, were the very, I want to say, like, I think it was like after like the first trade, I thought he was somewhat tolerable. Then he went into Lobdell mode. But I think really the best issues in the New 52 run were the ones that Tynan did. I don't think it was even on that that long. But he basically failed twice, so it was like one more strike, and I have a feeling, yeah, if he swung and missed and whiffed on this one, I don't think you would get another Red Hood book. And I'm just amazed how well this story has been going, how good it's been. I'm just wondering why. This leads me to the question, was maybe Lobdell kind of hamstrung? Was his hands kind of cuffed and going in a certain direction with, you know, Red Hood and the Outlaws Volume 1 and then Red Hood and Arsenal? Because what he's doing now, he's like, why couldn't you do that before? And I don't want to hear that it's Bizarro and Artemis. You could have just had, you know, Starfire done right, and Arsenal. I mean, you could have done something with that. But what he's doing with, obviously, Artemis and Bizarro is fantastic. They're better characters, but I still think in concept, he should have been able to do something with Artemis and Arsenal, but he's got JT, my boy JT, got that voice down pat, and everyone, it's just a mesh, and the art has just been delicious in it, and I really have not seen a dud on that run so far, which is amazing. Because part of me too is sitting there wondering, when is Lobdell gonna drop the ball? When are we gonna get it? So part of me, like every month, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of like, oh, I hope it's good. But he just been killing it, and so grateful because I love the character, and it's a great book right now. And if you're not reading it, check it out because it's fun. Getting in under 30 minutes, so I gotta make sure we get that done in time. Number 2 is Batman, the White Knight. Love Sean Gordon Murphy. Love him as an artist, and I think he's a good writer too. But this is one, it was a lot of hype, and I was hoping it would live up to the hype. But man, did that book just totally surpass expectations. It is a hell of a book. It is awesome. Not only great to look at, but the story is great. I'm not spoiling anything on it because it's only been a couple issues. And if by some chance you haven't been able to get on board that thing, do it now because I think this is going to be an epic story. And it's early. And the best thing about this, I think he even said it, that before he released issue 1, the series was done. He completed everything. So everything's wrapped up. So everything should stay on schedule. I think that's what he said. And that's great. So we can actually get a consistently timed, released, great Batman story. Taking it, and it's an Elseworld story, but really delving into interesting subject matter. I mean, you got, how I will spoil this, you got 2 Harleys running around right now, and you got the Joker, and just going through some unique storytelling right now. This is just great. Highly recommend you jump on. I'm not only appreciative that this thing is doing so well, because again, there's a lot of hype on this, and when you get some bad books that come up with a lot of hype, you just want to make sure they kind of meet that hype. You don't want to see anything fail. But man, Murphy's just killing it. I'm just appreciative not only that it met expectation, it's exceeded expectation, and it's a fun read. It's only 8 issues too. Man, this is gonna be a great story when it's all said and done. And lastly, the thing I'm most thankful for is Batman and Detective, where they're at right now. I cannot remember the last time in recent times that both Batman and Detective were both good at the same time. Also, you have to go back to pre-New 52 for that, because Detective, well, I think it's all pretty much well known. I love Snyder's run and Capullo's run on Batman during New 52. I think that's one of my favorites of all time. So Batman was good, but Detective rarely was as, I'm not going to say as good, but I don't want to say. I will say I think right now Batman and Detective are on a relatively level playing field right now. Just great storytelling. And even King, I was a little, I'm not going to say worried on King, because I love his storytelling, but what I liked about Snyder's is they both got a good and interesting voice for Bruce. For the villains might be a little bit different, but their storytelling is really different. I think King kind of takes a concept and he'll kind of be willing to stretch it out a little bit, but won't, I don't want to say kind of skip over some detail. I don't want to say that either, but I don't think his is as, I don't want to say drawn out too. That's trying to say this in a way where it's not a negative connotation. He'll kind of go at a quicker pace, I will say that, than Scott Snyder will. Snyder will go at a little bit more slower pace, but fill up that pace with a little bit more detail. Sometimes that goes against his detriment, but they're not really a same type of writer, but it's not been a drop in quality, I think, from the New 52. It's a different take on it, and I don't want to say a different take. It's just so hard to explain. I'm going to just say it right now. It's great, and it's great just like the New 52 is great. And I'm loving it, and it has been having great art throughout. Finch's art was great. Yana's art was great. Tan's art was great. Now we're getting with Jolie Jones. It was great. Even that one issue with Doratus, current artist we have on Mr. Miracle, and also their time during Sheriff of Babylon, and even that annual. It's just been great the whole entire time. Again with Detective, tying in what he's doing with the art team he's had, Barrows and the guy I still can't remember. Detective did have kind of a rut. The Stephanie Brown issue, the one thing she's running around throwing her temper tantrum, not really a fan of it, but still on a whole, Detective and Batman are, again, I think at a level playing field, and I'm just loving it, and it's good to see those two bad books doing very great, and I'm appreciative for it, and it's just, they're both of those stories thus far has just been great. So appreciative for Batman and Detective both being good, because it's been a while since you can really say both have been really good at the same time. So anyway, those are my 10 things I'm most appreciative for right now in the Batworld. And let me know again, what are you thankful for in the Batworld right now in the comments below. We'll bat chat about it and kind of go from there. Again, still trying to looking at a concept for this holiday season series. I got a good idea of what I want to do. It's just basically how I am going to pick the titles I want to talk about. That is the thing I'm kind of stuck on, but something I'm looking forward to. So look for that sometime mid-month. Kind of go from there. Also, still want to throw in some bat trades. So anyway, rambling. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving. Hope you spend or you have a great time with family and friends. And if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, that's okay too. If you're off, enjoy, rest, recuperate, have a good day too. It's everyone just have a good day and enjoy it. So, and because then I'm happy for Christmas tree goes up. When my Christmas tree goes up, I do videos in front of the Christmas tree. Pumped up for that. Anyway, rambling. Until next video, take care.